It's May 5th, and I'm going to show why I think that this is really the bottom in the gold miners here. Okay, you see these big volume clusters here on the green days? So that's evidence of institutional buying. All right, you get these big green bars here coincide with big up days. Okay, big volume day coincides with a nice big gap up. All right, you get these sideways consolidations and then moves out. Okay, now this pullback here, let's take a look at that. That was the last one. That was pretty concerning, but look what happened after it did a little bit of sideways consolidation and then again another move out. So what are we in now is one of these, probably like a sideways consolidation. So I would suspect that eventually, after maybe some chopping around here all summer, we get kind of a move out. And this is why. I mean, look at this volume here. You know, on these gap ups you get these volume. All throughout this rally you're getting volume spikes that are bigger on green days than they are, you know, in the preceding red days. So this is the biggest red volume day right there. Okay, so let's kind of see. That's where it was when they topped out. Okay, so look, and again, right here, another red volume which shows this temporary, like localized little top. All right, so overall, we're getting what I think is bullish behavior that indicates institutional buying in these gold miners, right? For right now. I mean, look, obviously, if you get some kind of a big move down, right, on like really big volume, you know, and then it kind of does a little bit of, and then boom, right? You know, and then takes out like this low back here. Okay, you get one that kind of goes, then you know it's over. But first, let's kind of look for a move that does, you know, this, and then continue to be bullish. So you got this, what is this? This is the 50-day moving average, this blue one, kind of coming up here. As long as it stays above that, you can be kind of bullish on this. So being bullish means staying in long positions. You know, you can be heavy in size. Now, if this thing kind of breaks below the 50-day moving average, you know, then you got to be cautious. And then certainly it better bounce off of this this 200-day moving average, this red one. You're going to want to see a real strong move off of there. But look at this volume. I mean, I'm telling you, this volume indications these huge volume up days. Okay, and there's many more of the green ones than there are of these red ones, right? And the red ones aren't as much volume, even on the biggest red ones. Look, they're not as big as the big green ones here. So up days that coincide with big volume that outnumber red days. Okay, you got these red clusters in here, but look, the volume is kind of lower than these big green clusters, like right here. I mean, you got a green cluster and the volume is way more, right? Let's contrast that with like back here. All right, let's kind of look what was going on here. You've got, look at this big volume cluster here. Like all of that's red, and it kind of, I mean, you know, it's, yeah, I don't know. There's some green spikes up here, but it's not as significant. See, the volume clusters kind of look more, you know, look bigger and look more than, for instance, these green clusters here. They kind of look better, right? See how it just looks like there's more red in here? So this was indicative of a lack of institutional buying. I mean, all throughout this rally, this decline, right? That's what led to it. But look up, leading up to this rally, right here, check it out. You know, again, you got these clusters of volume that don't really look the same as the ones we're seeing now. You know, all throughout here, it's really kind of red, big volume red days. You know, you get this rally that's right in here, and look at you got a green day and a big green volume here, but then this one big red volume that totally eclipses like all the other green volumes, you know, followed by one green spike up here that happened like right around there. I mean, so that's not bullish. You know, the biggest volume green day is not really a green day, but it's one of these reversal things. And then you get a higher high in price that has absolutely no corresponding big volume green day, right? So that's bad news, okay? That's why, you know, this decline right here was, I guess, in retrospect, it was obvious once we analyzed the volume. So let's use that analysis to try and see what we're dealing with now. Is it the same thing going on here? I mean, let's kind of go look at. You see the difference there in the volume? That's why. Look, I think we can be bullish here. I mean, look at these volumes. Big red cluster, right? I mean, kind of reddish cluster overall. Generally just more red volume spikes than green. And now check it out versus this part of the move, which coincides like right here is different. See how the volume characteristics are different? Just zooming way out, you got this little red cluster in here, but pretty much everything else, look at it, you know? Big green volume, big green volume, big green volume, big-ish green volume in these little ones here. But most importantly, look, those green volumes, they're always more than the preceding red volumes, you see? I mean, there's no big red volumes. It goes back, you know, going back in time, you can't see any red volume spikes that kind of eclipse the green volume spikes until you get into it right about here, and then this big red volume here, and certainly these ones. You got this huge one here, right? So look, I think we turned the corner. I mean, I think this is showing institutional sponsorship, starting with right in kind of here, morphing into something bullish starting in October of 2022. So look, I think this is the real deal. Now, that doesn't mean we can't get some kind of move down and chopping around all summer. I totally expect that. But throughout all of that, what we're going to want to see is more volume clusters with like big ones here, maybe some, okay, red, you get maybe a cluster, but really you're going to want to see then big volume, maybe a little bit, but eventually you're going to want to see some big spikies in the volume that coincide with some like bullishness here, right? So 36, well, going back, 36 bucks in this GDX, that's going to be tough to get through, right? So expect a lot of chopping, a lot of messiness, but eventually somewhere around August or, you know, October, September, October, somewhere starting around August, maybe we get the breakout above 36 here, you know, pull back, and then the move higher to all-time highs.